This clip will demonstrate how to use some aspects of Google Docs. So in the Google email solution we have Mail, beside it we have Calendar, and then the next to the right here above the GAA logo is Documents. So Google Documents provides many services to Google users, and the first of those that we look at is how to actually upload documents from your own hard disk or own memory stick or other device to the to your Google account. So to do that, you hit the upload option under the GAA logo, and selecting the upload option brings you to a new screen where you find the files you want to upload. But before you start uploading files, one thing to be conscious of is how much of your space has already been used up and how much space is available. So here it tells me I have 302 megabytes of a total of 1024 megabytes used, so I have just over 29% of it used. So that gives me a chance to upload a lot more files. So now select the files I want to upload. So I can select one file at a time, or I can select a number of files and then upload them. Initially, the advice would be to just pick one file, upload it, find the next file, upload it. And that means that should there be an internet breakdown where the connection fails, you don't suddenly fail in the middle of an upload of 6 files and fail to upload all 6 of them. So here we've picked a file, we've nominated it, and then below here, in the bottom of the screen here, we can then hit the Start Upload button. So it'll only take 20-30 seconds to upload a file of this size. So this is a PDF file. So this file has been uploaded, and now that I've uploaded, I've done two things. I've backed it up from my hard disk, so should my hard disk fail, I have a backup of it somewhere. And number two, by virtue of uploading it, I can now share it with somebody else. I can give someone else access to it. So back to Google Docs, and I'll pick another file to upload. So here's the first one, the one I just ticked. This highlighted with a kind of a beige background, and that one is now uploaded. So later on I might share it, but before that I'm going to upload a second file. So that brings me back to the same screen as previously. I select the file to upload. So here we might go for Camogie Master Pictures 2010 and open that. And if it's a small file and I feel that there's not going to be any kind of a crash of any sort, I can select a second file, and I'll go for the one What Are Go Games. So there the two of them are about to be uploaded. If I want to remove one of them, I can do it here on the right hand side, but in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload them. When you're uploading them, you may or may not want to convert them to a Google format. Now if it's a file you just want to upload where you want others to download it or just view it, there's no need to convert them to Google format. So in my case here, the files I'm uploading, I don't intend other people to convert them to Google format, so I could leave that turned off if I wanted to. So I can upload them, and again they only take a small amount of time. It's possible to upload files of 100 megabytes and all to go well. So I have 3 files uploaded now, as you'll see in the next screen when I go back to it. So it brings me back to the screen, and here are the 3 files. So they're just here on my in my Google Docs. Now what I can do here, if I like, is like on any other device, you can actually arrange your files into groups or into folders. So I have some folders here already, but I might just create another folder and just call it. So I can create many types of different object or whatever in Google Docs. Documents, which is like a Word document. Presentations, like a PowerPoint presentation. Spreadsheet, like Excel. A forum is basically a forum that you'd fill in to capture data on. Drawing is the last one, and then to store the files or to keep the files in kind of meaningful groups, we can create a folder. So here it asks me to give the folder a name up here where it says new folder, so I'm just going to call it Camogie, and its description will be to hold Camogie related files. I'm going to save that folder. So there's no items in it. Okay, there it's there it says no items in this folder, whereas if I go back to the one called Lecture Notes AIT Camogie, we'll see there's a few lectures from different people. So if I go to the Camogie folder, there's nothing in it again. Now I can go to the documents owned by me. So I want to find the documents that I've created myself or uploaded myself. So they're ones I own. So when I choose the owned by me option, and if I want to put those 3 files into that folder, I can tick them, I can select them, and I can drag them. So when I drag them, it says up here in the top, it says 3 files have been added to Camogie. And here in the folders and sharing window, you can see that they have the label Camogie on them. So that's how you can put files into logical grouping. So if I go back to my Lecture Notes AIT, I see my lecture notes. Now if I go to Camogie, I see the 3 files that I've just uploaded. So I can do lots of things with those files. I can delete them if I want to, tick one of them, delete it if I needed to. I could rename it, and over here there's more actions. So I could change the owner of it. So I am the owner of it currently. So if I wanted to give it to somebody else, if I wanted someone else to take over ownership of it, I could do that. If I wanted to download it again, if I was in a different location, if I was logged in remotely somewhere else and I wanted to download it, I could download it. So today the main thing I want to do with one of those files is share it with somebody else. So in Google, as well as I said, uploading your files to act as a backup, and then if you've them backed up on your Google account, it means anywhere in the world where you have access to Google, you can log in and you can find those files. So in my case, I've dispensed with memory sticks and other backup storage devices for a lot of my files. I just upload them to my Google account, and then no matter where I am, I can access them once I can access my Google email, my Gmail. But the other thing you'll want to do with files occasionally is share them with somebody else. So sharing them means that you can allow someone else to have access to them. So if I take the file here, we'll say called Coaching Cavan GAA, I can share it. And when I'm sharing it, the thing I have to be conscious of is my sharing settings. So what it tells me here is that this file is private. The permissions are private. Only the people listed below can access the file currently. So if I wanted to change that, I could change it so that the file can be accessed by anyone on the internet, or by anyone with the link to the file, or by anyone who's on the GAA Google system. So everyone who has a GAA email address could access it, or just those people in the GAA who have the link to the file. But in most cases, the majority of files you'll upload, initially at least, have a default label of private, and then afterwards you can change it to whatever category you like. But in my case, what I just want to do is I want to invite specific people to access the file. So if I want to add people to that file, I can choose them from my contacts. So here I have all my contacts, and people that I contact most often are initially listed here. So you'll see that there's a list of people. The one I want isn't there. So what I'm going to go down here is go down and enter a couple of email addresses that I'll go back to the previous screen and do it because it's more visible. So I can just go here and I'll say itofficer.westmead. That's one of my other email accounts. If I want to give it to a second person or a second user, I can just itofficer here is a comma at the end of it, so I can then pick a second user. So I can go for noel.tierney.gaa@gmail.com as a second person, and then I can say hi. I can just put in a message here, brief message, say hi, sharing coaching file, and end at that. So the thing you might want to do here is, what type of sharing do you want to have? Do you want the person to be able to edit the file? So if it's a spreadsheet or document, you might want them to be able to go in, edit it, change it. But in lots of cases, say like a PDF file, the chances are you won't want them to be able to edit it in any shape or form. You'll want them just to be able to view it or download it. So that's the setting I put in here. I've left out the edit one, and I've changed it to view. And what I can then do, what they need to do, is just press the share button. So it tells me, well, it's happy with itofficer.westmead, because that's inside the GAA domain. It's a bit curious about noel.tierney.gaa@gmail.com. That account is outside the domain. So it just gives me a chance to opt out if I want to, but I'm happy to share to that address. So it now tells me, when you look at the summary here of my sharing settings, that the overall permissions is private. Noel Tierney.itc is the owner of the file. IT Officer Westmeath and Noel.Tierney GAA can both view the file. If a week later, if I want to get rid of Noel Tierney, I can just hit the X here and I can save my changes. On the other hand, after a week, if I decided the IT Officer Westmeath is a small bit more trustworthy and I want him to be able to edit the file, I can just change his permissions up here. So you have your files, you grant your permissions, you can see on the sharing settings who's got access to the file and the level of access they got, and if you need to change it, you can change it. So here I've removed one of the users and I've changed the second person's privileges from view to edit. So that's a simple quick look at how to upload files and how to share them with other users. So that's the end of the clip.